Okay. I think we're waiting for a few more people, but I'm gonna get started and then they can always catch up later. So this is our May staff meeting. Thank you for those of you who are watching now and those who watch recorded, whenever you watch recorded tomorrow maybe. And if you're listening on the phone, the PowerPoint will be sent to you so you can see what we were talking about, because some people are driving or they have to do other things, so they're just listening. While you wait in the comment section, what is a proud moment you experienced on your own or with students that you want to share? So you can type in the chat box and share something. If I don't get to what you do share, I apologize, but I will make sure that it's shared at some point, because we want to be able to share what we're proud about. Not everyone sees everything. I know I don't. I don't see every awesome thing you do in the classroom every day. Okay. So let's look at our chat box. Barbie says, I finished my administration credentials coursework. That's awesome, because I know how much of a pain in the hiney that coursework is. And congratulations to Barbie. That's awesome. It's a lot of work, a lot of reading and watching and writing. Well, I am proud. When Kim Sherry came and she did her yearly evaluation of building one, she did find some things, but she was very impressed with the classroom environments. When she and I were walking through, she noted your interactions with the students and how authentic they were, how you maintain your even tone, you engage with them. She says other centers, people just, lean up against a wall and watch kids all day, and that's not what we're about. We try to make sure that you guys are early childhood educators and you're working with your students every day. We want to treat you as such, and that's why we provide benefits and we put you through school and bonuses. We try to do it right by you the best we can so that you feel like you're early childhood educators. She was also impressed with how the classrooms looked, how organized the classrooms were, and how accessible most of the things were to the students. I said, we're still working on some classrooms. We're doing post assessments with Jennifer. So, we're always a work in progress. But she really did notice some awesome things, and she loves the playgrounds. So that's good that our money was invested in something. She can't get over our playgrounds. So that's pretty cool. Allison shared, almost every kid in our class knows all their ABCs, and our kids are getting so good at writing their names. That's fantastic. And that's definitely something that you want to prepare them for kindergarten readiness. And some of your kids even have one more year to go. So they're going to be pros by the time they get to kindergarten. And that's another thing. When your kids, our kids, go off to Dixon or Coastal or another state, because, they're pretty much all of them are transient at some point, the teacher is going to be so impressed, because you're teaching them how to be problem solvers, how to be great little citizens in the classroom. And then on top of all that, on top of self-regulation, you're teaching them how to write their names, their ABCs, their 1, 2, 3s, and how to problem solve within what they're doing academically. A lot of students, when I was teaching first, second, third, fourth grade, I saw them go through. And when they came to me, some of them appeared as if they've never been in school before. And it was my job to teach them how to focus, how to sit and self-regulate, how to sit in a whole group, how to sit in a small group, how to contribute to a conversation. And your kids are already doing that. So that's awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's move on. If you want to type more, you're always welcome to type more in the chat box.
Connie, can I just share one thing? Am I unmuted? Okay.
Yes.
You were talking about what we're thankful for or whatever. One of the parents took the time to come up and tell us how happy they are with room number 2. And it is a parent that does not usually give a lot of compliments. They're usually a lot faster to complain than to give compliments. So it really meant a lot. Named Pauline specifically, but the room in general, they were very, very happy with. So we would like to share that, and thank you.
Yeah, Thank you to both Rachel and Colleen, and I know Laura goes in there from time to time as a flex teacher, and so does Cindy. And you guys work well as a team. You know, that communication is essential, because if you're not talking to each other, then the room falls apart. And Joyce and I have seen it. We've only been around for 4 years in this building, but we've seen it many times where a team stops communicating and then all disaster hits. But you guys have strong communication, you discuss things through, you make sure you're on the same page. And if you're not on the same page, you have respect for one another and you collaborate, and then you problem solve. So thank you. Um, that's good news. Okay, so our super staff member of the month of May. They are extremely supportive team member. They are professional in all situations. They approach concerns with the students' well-being in mind. They are pursuing a higher degree in early childhood education. They're a terrific asset to Sneed's Ferry Quality. They're punctual and dependable. They're organized, which is a big deal when you're a teacher. And praise for interactions with students by Kim, Sherry, and other observers. That was another person who she was praising. And this person is Miss Kayla Nimchek. Congratulations, yay, Miss Kayla. And all
Thank you.
your goodies. You're welcome. We'll be there in your mailbox sometime this week. I'll try to remember. Okay. So we want to welcome to our school. I don't think we've said welcome to these people yet, according to my last PowerPoint. And Miss Emily, she is a co-teacher with Miss TT in room 3. For a little while there, she was filling out different rooms, but they seem to be working really well together. So thank you to Miss TT for working with Miss Emily, and Miss Emily for working with Miss TT. Miss Sonia, we want to say welcome to her. Right now she's a flex teacher, but come summertime, we're going to have Miss Sonia in a more permanent position. We're going to discuss that with her. So right now it's up in the air, but she's learning all the different classrooms and where she feels most comfortable, which is very important. Miss Catherine is our lead teacher in room 6. She works with Miss Jeannie and Miss Allison, and welcome to Miss Catherine. And then starting early this summer, we have a few more flex teachers. They are still waiting for their fingerprint clearance since, like, when was that? February? But they're from out of state, so it's taken them a really long time. Some of them are moving here. So it's throughout the summer, you will see some new faces, and they will go through training and flex teacher stuff where they learn the different classrooms, just like you did. And a potential co-teacher to shadow in room 9, because Miss Kayla will be moving sometime in July. So we do have some time to find someone to join Miss Courtney. So before we get into everything else, I did want to go into this video. I'm only going to show you a small part of it. It's about redirecting behavior. I think it's beneficial to all age groups, because even with our itty bitties, we redirect them to make sure that we're avoiding problems. We're avoiding a catastrophe. We can see it because you have that intuitiveness about you as a teacher, and you can see that so-and-so is going to bite so-and-so, or so-and-so is going to whack so-and-so because they wanted that toy. And it works all the way up to school age. If you are watching and you are observant, you will be able to recognize when something's about to hit the fan. So these are just strategies so that you can keep them in mind, keep them in your back pocket. So when you're working with kids, you have the tools that you need. All right, so I'm going to start. So the goal of this is to address before it escalates verbally. You can address it verbally. Physically, you can do a gentle touch and guide them with a cue. So maybe you have a special song that you sing and you'll just snap them right out of it. Or proximal attention. So you're close to them and you're talking to them, close proximity.
Teachers can in the first place, and by avoiding the escalation of problematic or challenging behavior. That means teachers use redirecting before the behavior gets out of hand. Redirecting behavior consists of simple instructions and simple cues that teachers can easily embed into the ongoing activities and routines of the day. Teachers can use redirecting behavior along with classroom rules and clear expectations to help maintain a well-organized and productive learning environment. Let's look at 4 types of redirecting. Teachers can redirect verbally, physically, with a cue, or by redirecting the child's attention. Regardless of the type of redirection, It is used when the teacher notices that the child's attention is flagging, or the teacher notices that the child is on the verge of losing control or showing frustration in a way that teachers consider problematic. Redirection happens before the problem behavior. Verbal. The teacher gives a simple instruction that distracts the child from the challenging behavior and guides the child to a more appropriate behavior. The teacher might say, "Let's see if we can find another shiny car," or "I need a helper with these carpet squares. Can you help me?"
Hey, let's come spraying down our window, my friend. Oh man, our window's looking great. Nice and clean.
Physical. The teacher gives a simple instruction and uses a gentle touch to prevent the child's challenging behavior. The gentle touch interrupts the child's behavior, and in that pause, the teacher guides the child to a more appropriate behavior.
I can look up. Let's wait until she answers our question. Ask her again. Can you see them? Oh, thank you. That was very nice.
With a cue. The teacher pairs a visual cue, like a picture or a gesture, with the instruction to prevent the child's challenging behavior and guide the child to an alternative.
Here, go like this, and he'll come land. Watch this. Land on the finger. Thank you.
Sometimes a teacher can predict difficult situations, and so she has pictures already prepared. With attention. The fourth type of redirecting involves another child who is nearby and who is playing or talking appropriately. The teacher draws the attention of the child on the verge of a challenging behavior to the child who is engaged. This type of redirecting is sometimes called proximal attention.
So let's see who is ready to help us today. Oh, I see he's sitting really nice and quiet. He's trying his best. So I see him start with the letter D. Who is D? Sarah, thank you so much.
Redirecting behavior is a positive and proactive method for dealing with challenging behavior. It can be a way to prevent the behavior or interrupt the behavior before it escalates. By guiding the child to an alternative and more appropriate behavior, the teacher is also helping the child gain some self-control. In this module, we looked at 4 ways to use redirection: verbally, physically, with a cue, or with proximal attention. Learn more about this method of behavioral guidance in our longer insert.
Okay, so that was just a snippet. I did save the whole course on YouTube. It's free if you choose to. They're nice little short videos like that. And if you want to go by category, I thought it was helpful because now you have a glimpse as to what you can do and what you can put into your pocket, but they go more in depth for each category when you go into their YouTube subscription. So you can ask me and I'll send it to you. I'm not going to bombard you with videos, but there's a little snippet.
Service with.
Okay, so here's some reminders. They're usually what I say every time, but let's go through them anyway. Lesson plans should be signed and approved and posted before Monday mornings. This is a big deal. Kim likes to pop in on Mondays. So if you noticed, she came and all those lesson plans were posted and I didn't get a chance to yell green folder on the walkie-talkie. We did type it in Messenger, but you're not even supposed to be looking at your phone while you're working, so you probably didn't even see it. If your lessons are posted and ready Monday mornings, maybe you might be out Monday and then there's no lesson posted and whoever subs in your room is lost. They don't know what to do. So please make sure that before Monday, or at least you send it to me and I can print it and post it Monday morning. If you know you're going to be out, make sure they're up. Please, please. Menus and schedules. That's also something that if they're missing from your bulletin boards, that's a state violation not to have menus and schedules. Also, it's helpful to know what you're eating and it's helpful to know what you're doing throughout the day, especially if you have a sub in your room and it's before Mondays. If we don't get you the menu or the meal program form, just let us know and I'll make sure I print it right away. Whiteboard should always be up to date. That's a big deal. And class lists should be taped to the back for reference. This week, I made sure that there was an extra meal program form in the teacher's mailboxes. So you should just have to like cut that little bad boy out and tape it to the back of your whiteboard. Some people got new whiteboards, so you might need to replace it anyway. Radio for administration when you're over ratio. Everyone's been very good about this since I said it the last time. Please don't yell down the hall that we are over ratio in front of parents, because I can't come running and save you at that second, but I will save you as soon as I get someone to go into that classroom or to split with you. Now, if you're new to school and you don't understand the procedures in the morning, hopefully your fellow teachers have explained that if your classroom ratio, say we're talking about the 2-year-olds, and you come in and you take your 2s, if you go over your 9, you're sending your extra 9 to the classroom that has 2 teachers in the classroom so that they can go up to their classroom max. We don't want you to go over ratio when you can send children, same with the 3s, same with the 4s, toddlers, to another classroom. If you need help moving kids, admin, can you come to room, whatever, and I'll come running and we'll move those kids over so you're within ratio. Your classroom ratios are listed on your walls. If you need to look at them because you're not usually in that classroom, please do that so you are aware. Check and empty your mailboxes daily. These mailboxes are nice and tiny, where they used to be bigger and people would just store things in them for months. So now they're super narrow and you just take out whatever's in there throughout the day. Thank you. Supply list should be turned in by Wednesday each week. Brittany is back, so she's going to be filling up your supply list requests. If it's an order request, I'll either order it or tell you I'm going to reimburse you, or we might already have it, so I can't get it for you, and we'll find it. Reimbursements must be approved prior to you going on a shopping spree. Please make sure you ask anyone in admin that has to do with classroom environments and say, hey, can I get this for my classroom? We might say yes, we might say we already have it in that shed that's super full back there. All you have to do is go in and grab it. The kitchen is just like entering a classroom. You must wash your hands before you touch anything in there. Anything, even if you just came from the bathroom. So there's a little hand washing sink, the corner next to the washing machine. There's hand soap and paper towels. You hit that area first, then you go grab your lunch from the fridge and heat it up. Because as soon as you walk into the kitchen and you touch something, that's contamination and we can get in big trouble for that. Plus there's germs. So just make sure you wash your hands and then you can go about doing what you need to do. Now, if you're going to the supply area, because you're grabbing toilet paper or tissue boxes or extra stuff way in the back, obviously that's not part of the kitchen, that's storage. We're talking about fridges, touching food, touching things within the cooking space, just in case that was confusing. Okay. New hires, you probably went over this with Ms. Ruby when you started, but I just want to make sure you know that please do not park in the row at the front of the building. That's for parent pickup and drop off. And there's not a lot of space. When you think about that huge influx that we have in the morning and that huge influx in the afternoon and your cars are there, it's very difficult for people and parents with 3 kids. They have to go all the way to Breakfast House Park and come and get their kids and take them and truck them all the way over there. So I ask that you please go park by Cancun. If you have a ton of kids yourself, then obviously you do need to park along the road part, and we'll try to save those spots for you. The days I bring Mikey, I do park in the main parking lot, but most of the time I park in Cancun. So we save that spot at least. All right. Clock in at most, try at 5 minutes before, because it does add up. If you're clocking in 15 minutes early, or Joyce or Ruby say, hey, get out of here, you're good to go home, but then you make 5 other stops on your way to the clock out station, it's as if you work those extra some odd minutes and then they add up throughout the week and it seems like you were working overtime, like hours of overtime. It's crazy how it builds up. So just please make sure that it's within the 5-minute range. I know if you're leaving and you got to gather all your stuff, but it does add up. So just keep that in mind. And always ask questions, let administration know how you're doing, be honest. And if we don't know there's a problem, Joyce always says we can't help you. So if you're not comfortable in a certain age group, tell us. If you love a certain age group, tell us, and we'll be able to work with that. And flex teacher, Go in and ask the teachers of the room you're in. Jump in, get your hands dirty. What can I do to help? There should be a teacher A, B, and C chart in most classrooms that will help you, especially the toddler rooms. They know that if they're going to get that third person, they're going to put you to work. So they're going to be able to tell you what you can do to help in that environment. Probably one of the redirecting, working in a small group while they're doing something else. And seasoned staff members are here to support you. So please ask them questions and they'll be there to guide you. Okay, My Simple Menu. We talk about this a lot now, but I want to make sure that you know that there's the paper version that has to be marked, and that goes into Joyce's file box. And the digital version goes straight to My Simple Menu's Cape Fear Tutoring for Onslow County. That's what they count. The paper version is just make sure that if we ever get audited, they know that it was recorded and it's there in paper proof. If there's ever a discrepancy from what was marked online, they can check the paper version. So we do have to have both. If you're confused at all about it, please ask somebody in admin and we will help you. Because the paper version you should be familiar with if you were here a little bit ago. My Simple Menu, you're just tapping and clicking and saving at the bottom every day.
Can you actually make sure that they are in Brittany's cubby? Because she goes over them at the end of the week to make sure that they're all entered and accurate before she gives them to me. So they can go into Brittany's cubby.
Brittany is your lady for My Simple Menu. And Joyce and I are currently looking for alternatives. We're going to try to use the ProCare program, see if it is compatible, but the trainings don't really start until mid-June for that. So we won't know if it's plausible until then. And if you're still glitching or having difficulty entering, please tell us, because if you're not telling me, I think the problem was fixed when I yelled at them at Cape Fear Tutoring. So if it's not fixed, we got to do some more emailing and calling. Okay. Building 1 rated license assessment is hopefully soon. We're going to put the request in for this summer as soon as Jennifer is done with the post assessments, and then we have time to reflect and fix things and get new things and make the rooms beautiful and make sure you guys feel comfortable. We're going to request to be assessed, because being 3 stars is not how we feel we are performing. We feel like we're a 4 or 5 star center, and we want to show that, and we get more grant money being 4 or 5 stars. So we want to make sure that we get that so we can give it to you. Support classrooms to prepare for Jennifer, that was a weird thing, but Jennifer's doing her post-assessment. So she's here to support you. She's not here to judge you. So if you have questions, ask her. She's going to be honest with you so you can perform well during assessments. She's going to act as a real assessor. She'll be a fly on the wall, and then she'll talk to you afterwards and ask you some interview questions. Ruby's observing to conduct formal evaluations of individual staff members. So she's not going to assess you as a whole class. She's kind of talking to you and saying, here's where your strengths are, here where your goals are, and this is how we can obtain those goals. These are what we're going to use on top of what Joyce and I have collected and what we observe through video for bonuses, pay raises, and then new positions offered. If we feel that you're a flex teacher and you're performing really well, and we want to offer you a promoted position, then that's where that would come from. Or you're a co-teacher and we really feel like you can take it on your own and become a lead teacher, we may offer that position. Or maybe you're just a great teammate and you guys should stick together because you're fantastic together and we give you a pay raise. So all those things are plausible and they're going to hopefully happen by the time we're done. It'll be like much later down in the summertime when we're all finished with this. Okay. Boop. Lead teacher facts. I put this in last time. I'm just going to save it in here so you know what it takes to be a lead teacher. It's slightly different than a co-teacher, so just make sure that you know these details. Co-teacher facts. They're a little different than leads and flex teachers. Obviously, you are a part of the classroom. You are a co-teacher. You are a partner in there. Doing a lot of work every day. Flex teacher facts. These are what flex teachers are, and you can go through it yourself because I'm going to share the PowerPoint. We already did it last month. And you could be a level 8. I already put this in last month also, but I feel like it's very important for you to know that if you have a bachelor's degree in a different field and you take EDU 119, you could become a level 8. And when we are assessed, that is a huge deal. Level 8s bring our center up in education very high in points. So it helps us out in that aspect. It's an 8 to 12 week course online. We sign you up for it. We pay for it through Teach, and you get a pay raise when you're done with it. So you just have to do the work. And see Ruby, she'll get you all set up. And then the difference between DCDEE works letters tell the state what you're qualified to work in. That's important. But the early educator credential, whatever, EEC letters, they need official transcripts and they help us with our star rating. So both are necessary. Both are essential to this. Okay. On the playgrounds, our priority are the students. Everyone sees the playgrounds first when they pull up. I feel like a broken record, but I really need to see people in stations away from each other supervising children. When 3 people are clustered together on the same playground, chit-chatting, that doesn't show me you're supervising children. And that's when incidents can occur. You have no time for that redirecting video we just saw because you're not watching things before they could possibly happen. My favorite spot, and I say it all the time, is on the top of the play structure. I have pretty much a bird's eye view of everything happening, and then I can intervene and address the teacher across the way and say, hey, can you get so-and-so? They're about to, or hey, come play over here, so-and-so, and distract them from what they're about to do. But you don't have a good vantage point and you're not supervising, that's when incidents happen. Please clean the playground. You guys have been really good about this for the most part, cleaning playgrounds after each use. When I walk in the mornings, I don't really see a lot of paper cups around anymore. You are picking out the plastic garbage bags from the trash cans, so thank you. And the toys are put back, so thank you. We appreciate that. If you see broken or cracked toys, please make sure they go over the fence, broken or cracked. If they're faded, that happens. It's North Carolina and the sun is strong. So faded toys, we will hold on to for a while. But if it's cracked or broken, we cannot keep it if we can't fix it. And yeah, just said that. Okay. Tone of voice. We can use big voices, but please don't yell. If we hear you down the hallway in a very stern voice, that's not how we're dealing with problems. We're using our big voice. We're making sure we're heard, but you're saying as if you're telling me that my shirt's gray. Your hands are by your side. You're sitting in your seat. Your shirt is gray. So I have an even tone. I can say it in a bigger voice, but I'm not yelling or scolding a child. In the classroom, if they're yelling and screaming and I'm trying to yell and scream over them, I'm not going to be heard. They're in emotional distress. They're out of their minds. So you give them a moment, you separate the other kids, and then you come to them when they are actually able to listen to you and talk to you. Because if they're in utter distress, they don't hear anybody. They have tunnel vision. They're either in fight or flight, or sometimes they just shut down, right? Okay. And if you have to mean what you say what we mean. So if you're going to give a natural consequence, they didn't do this, so now this has to happen, you have to follow through. So make sure it's something actually tangible for you to do. And if you give them 2 positive choices, well, you couldn't have that toy because little Billy's playing with it, but you can choose to do this or this. Those are 2 choices that you would say yes to. Even if they asked on their own, then that's something appropriate because you would say yes to those 2 choices for them, 2 positive choices. Okay, so our preschool graduation, very exciting. It's coming up. It's going to be at Dixon Middle School on Saturday, June 4th. NC Pre-K will be at 11. Private will be at 1 o'clock. That's our main building. It's the private preschool. They're sharing themes. A future looks bright. And the t-shirts just came in today, so I can't wait to see them. And everyone's invited to come if you want to spend a little bit of time joining us. There will be light refreshments, so I will feed you something. I don't know what it is. What did we do last year? Like water bottles and chips and cookies or something? But we'll set you up. And ProCare check-in. Are you checking your children in daily for attendance, or are parents doing it? I'd like to know, because when I go to clock kids out in the evening, I just see so many kids are still clocked in and I just clock them out. But what's happening throughout the day? If you could kind of give me a message and say, hey, I'm checking all my kids in, or my parents are mostly doing it, or it's a mixture. I just want to know if I should try to get parents more on board and push it more, or they're already there doing it. Have you been providing your daily notes and activities to families, taking pictures, videos, putting them through ProCare? The parents love it. Remember the survey results? They were ecstatic to be able to get these things through ProCare in a one-stop shop, and then they can message you back. So they really love it. Please make sure you continue it. If you have trouble with daily notes, then let me know, and I will make sure that someone who's knowledgeable will come and help you. Do you create and save lesson plans on ProCare? Because you can, and you can also click what standards they pertain to, so you don't have to go through your NC Foundation's book. You can just click them on ProCare and then print the lesson plan from ProCare. It's great, and it saves it for you. So if you want to use the same lesson plan but change a couple of days and activities, you can do that. Pretty awesome. Have you tried assessing your students with milestones? Those are the different developmental domains. You click where they are they developing, are they progressing? And then you can add evidence. You can just show a picture, you can type a little thing about where they are in it. It's much more concise because it actually follows them as they go through the other classes in our center. And if you have any questions, concerns, let us know. Oh, and you're new to Emily saying that she didn't know she had to sign them in. I want to know if the parents are doing it, if you guys are doing it, if it's a mixture. Either way, if you would like to sign them in when you come into the room, that would be great. And then you can start doing their daily notes that way with Miss TT. So incident, biting, and non-injury reports, we say this all the time. They are legal documents, so please make sure you use black ink. Blue ink is okay too, but we provide black pens, and complete all the sections. And make sure you just do all the facts. No emotions, no feeling words. No, they seemed angry. That's not going to help in the incident report, but you can say exactly what was witnessed or what they did, the actions. And if you didn't see what they did and it's something that's very concerning, please tell us so we can watch the video. That's why we have cameras. In the carbon copy paper, we keep the original if possible, but I know sometimes we give the families the papers and they take the original. That's fine. We just need a copy. We don't have to have the inked copy. And now your bite reports and your non-injuries are in orange. So you should be able to have those nice and bright so parents can sign them and give them right back. If they want a copy of those, then they have to ask for them because there's no carbon copy paper of those.
Shannon, we were talking today about possibly doing different colors for the incident and then also behavior sheets, a different color, so that we can look for them as parents are leaving now that they're picking the children up themselves. We can look for those colored notices to make sure they're being signed and left with us.
So you want a different one for biting and a different color for?
Yeah, if we do red for, or whatever it is, what do we have?
No, red's for sick, so not red.
Right, red is for sick, which is the orange is that biting?
Orange is incident.
For all of the things that have to be signed are orange.
Yeah, we can do like yellow for one and blue for one, and that way we know which one is like, behavior we can do in blue or something like that. And that way, when we see those colors leaving the building, we know we have to get them signed and turned in.
Okay.
And it'll be easier for the parents to see that those colors are the ones that have to be signed.
Yeah, well, that's why we're doing orange, but we can do different colors for the different reports. Sounds good. All right. Exciting yard sale. We got June 11th from 12 to 4. Setup will begin at 10 if you want to get there and, make your whole little store happen on your table. If you have a lot of stuff, you're cleaning out your garage or your house and you're doing spring cleaning, just make sure you put little price labels, little stickers on your items so people know how much they cost. Otherwise, they'll be asking you about every item. And then they might try to haggle with you. It'd be crazy. But to each his own. You do what you got to do. If you do come, make sure that you get some change for yourself or you accept something like Venmo or Zelle. And you can do it that way. And if you want all your proceeds to go to the summer program, that would be great. But you do not have to do that because that's fine. Be good to get some other new treasures. So you can start your new spring cleaning if you would like to join us. Make sure you put a price tag. And you might need a folding table and a tent if you want a tent. Hopefully it's not a very windy day. Vendors are welcome. Do you know anybody who makes things, sells things, like a Scentsy person or Pampered Chef or things like that? They're welcome to join us. Food trucks. I did put something out on Seeds for a Community, and I put it on this food truck Facebook group. But if you know of somebody with a food truck, or even if they're a great home cook and they want to sell products at a folding table during the event, they're welcome to do that. I know somebody in community makes lumpia, and I love lumpia, and they would be able to sell it to people there. So that'd be fun. Even farms, if somebody sells farm fresh eggs, that would be a great opportunity to do that. I booked the bounce house so the kids have somewhere to bounce around, and then the playgrounds will be open so they can go and do those things while everyone's selling their stuff. Me too, Cassie, it's the best. And any other ideas? If you think of something else that's not too costly, because we're trying to make this like a low budget community event, then let us know and we will do our best to accommodate. And obviously the main lobby restrooms will be open to the public. I'm not, we're not going to go do porta potties or anything, but just like when we do our little festivals, we open the little lobby area for bathrooms. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, food trucks. If you know anybody with a food truck, or they have a farm, or they make something delicious, they can sell it, cookies, whatever. You want to sell baked goods instead of doing a yard sale, you can do that. And you can keep all those proceeds. This is not for our school to profit our school. This is for people to get rid of their junk. Summer fun. We are right around the corner from summer. Can you believe it? June 7th is the last day of school for our preschoolers, NC preschoolers, and for the school-age students in Onslow County. So we have a bounce house water slide and a bounce house. So like a bounce house water slide and a bounce house, because it was very chaotic to just have the bounce house water slide. So on the school-age playground, you will have the ability to play in that area with both of those things going on and the playground structure. And I think I also have a splash pad, but I think that's a little too much. But it'll be a great time on the playground. All of the graduating preschool classes will have priority time, so I will make sure I plan for them first. And then the 3-year-olds, they will be able to be hopefully squeezed in, and I can give you some time. We might just be able to do the afternoon. That's fine. They can, I don't know, we'll have to figure it out. But I will schedule it like we did last year. It seemed to work out pretty well last year. And if you're going to have parties on the last day of school, we are just going to pay for the pizza part like we did last year. All the other things like drinks and snacks and whatever else we're going to get, you can ask donations from parents, but just pizza for graduating classes, because they had asked me. So I want to make sure that was clear. June 8th, summer school age program begins. So that's their first day of summer camp. It's a preschool program for those NC pre-K kids who are wraparound. They're going to be in room 8, and that's when their program will begin. And if you could work together, maybe brainstorm together and plan some fun summer activities, because we want it to be more like a summer program than it would be a normal school year. But you can throw in academics as well. The school age program theme is STREAM: science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So any of those categories can pop into your activities throughout the week. You can ask for special visitors to come. I know the fire truck came last year. The kids loved it. We have a lot of parents who do things for community service workers, and I'm sure they'd be happy to come and pop by with their crew. So we have our yard sale. And then on June 13th, that Monday, that's the week that water play will begin, because I had a lot of questions of when can they start water play. I want to make sure we're in summer mode before water play starts, so parents understand that it is a part of summer programs. We have the sprinklers, we have the splash pad, buckets, those big sponges you can squeeze, and the water shooters. I don't even know if they still work. I think they got broken, but we'll try to find them again. And we'll make the schedule so that everybody has their day of water day. If you have a special request, for some reason you need to have Wednesday as your water day, please message me and I will do my best to make sure that it's done and that you're good to go on that day. Here is the water day checklist. You're going to have this sent to all families. You don't have to do it right away. You can kind of wait till like June 7th and June 8th and make sure that they know this is summer mode program. This is what they should have. Every day you have water day. School agers are the only group that have water day twice a week. They go to a splash pad one day and then they're in-house the other day. So they would have to make sure they bring water day stuff 2 days, or they, something. Yeah, 2 days, bring it and then send it home, because you don't want wet towels at school. Everything should be labeled. Okay. Staff survey. I know I said this last month, but I totally forgot that I was supposed to send it out to you. So it's ready. I'm going to send it out after this meeting. Please make sure you are honest with us. You are detailed, because this is how Joyce and I, and Ruby and Michelle and Brittany, and we all get together and we say, okay, how can we make sure that we meet all these needs and concerns? Please be honest, straight up with us. Complete the entire survey if possible. And it's anonymous unless you put your name at that top little section. The first response says, if you want to put your name, it's optional, because then I know who it pertains to and we can meet privately, and we'll address everything. Joyce or I will come and sit with you and we'll make sure that we address everything you're concerned about. But if you want to stay anonymous and you just want to make sure that things get addressed and you want to be heard, then you don't have to put your name in there. The window will end on the last, are there 31 days in May? Well, on the last day of May. I think there's 31 days in May. The last day in May, I will say no more surveys. We're going to review them all together and we'll see what we can do. And there's that. Okay. Trainings, we say this all the time. Please make sure your trainings get done on time. That was 2 violations we had when Kim came, and it's very disappointing because they're so easy on Moodle. You literally just sit there with it playing, listening, but playing, answer some questions, and then you have a quiz and you print the certificate. Please make sure you stay on top of your trainings. There are some that are annuals. They must get done every year. There are some like health and safety, which is every 5 years. So once you're done your first year of employment, you don't have to worry about them for 5 years. Recognizing and responding to child maltreatment, that's the first one you do, because it's due within 90 days, 6 weeks, 6 weeks for us of employment. Fire safety every year. It SIDS. If you want to go near babies, you got to take it SIDS. And I'm trying to find someone on Facebook who is a trainer to do it online for us, so you don't have to drive very far away. And also, I think one place isn't going to offer one for a while. NC Feld. Every teacher, every lead teacher and co-teacher must take NC Feld, because you have to know what lesson planning is all about and what goes into lesson planning and what the standards are for your students, where they should be developmentally, because you can't assess them if you don't understand NC Feld. So please make sure you have taken this. I even think it's required for flex teachers now, but I'll have to double check the rules.
I'm requiring everyone in the main building to do all trainings across the board.
There you go. So
To make
Ruby
it easier
says,
on me.
Ruby says, do it all. That way you don't have to question if you have it or not. It's better safe than sorry. And you're knowledgeable then. So I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Oh, Ruby just got trained for CPR. So she's going to try her first class if she's up for it. And is that on Thursday?
It's going to be Tuesday, 31st.
Tuesday. Okay. On the there are 31 days in May. So on Tuesday, the 31st, there's CPR with Ruby. If you haven't taken it yet, she will find you. And we always have an open door policy. Please stop by anytime. A lot of you do. And it's very welcoming to know that you are comfortable enough to come talk to us. Now, if you're not comfortable enough, then you can just message us. You can leave me an anonymous note and we will get to it. And if we don't know there's a problem, we can't help to find a solution. Joyce always says that, and it's very true. You can keep things in there and bottle them up, and then you explode, and it's just not healthy. So make sure you tell somebody. And anybody have any questions?
Someone who can actually do something about it, not your coworkers, just to gossip and complain.
Yeah, don't gossip about it, because they can't help you. We can help you. Right. If nobody has any questions or anything else to add, Oh, Cassie says the amazing magic guy. Yeah, I'm gonna get him back throughout the summer. So he'll
We
come
love
in.
that magic guy. He's great.
Yeah, he's so good.
Hold that down a minute.
All right,
there's-
Laura, we will see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Wait a
for
minute, there's
letting me know.
2 things that I just wanted to add real fast. Number one, we've been talking about it for a long time. You probably didn't think it was really gonna exist, but the she shed is here and it's getting finished and hopefully will be open soon so that you all have somewhere to be able to go, eat your lunch, watch TV and relax for an hour. So they're working on it now and hopefully we'll be ready for you guys very soon. Number 2, not quite as fun. While we were on this message, my son called and said that there was a guy outside the building over by Cancun who was drunk and he was screaming and yelling at people and went to punch his car, gave him the finger and was cursing at him as he drove by. I called Cancun just to let him know because apparently he was also screaming at their patrons outside. So I called him and I spoke to the owner over there, told him what was going on, just so he's aware. He said he's seen him over the past couple days. So that's why I wanted to bring all of your attention to it. It's an older, scraggly guy. He seemed like he was either on something or drunk or something. But if you see somebody that fits that description, stay away from him. Let us know. We'll call the police.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, especially if you're on the playground. It's only happened a few times, but people feel like they can come up to the fence and talk to the kids. That is not allowed. You use your big, angry mama bear voice, and you need to let them know this is a playground for children. I'm sorry, you have to step back. Or you call me and I'll come running because there are people brought their dogs up to the fence before. I mean, all kinds of, how do they think that's okay? But anyway, oh, that just made me think of something and then I forgot. Oh, someone asked save all bottle lids for Barbie. She needs milk, soda, water, peanut jar lids, jelly jar lids. Wash, if you just rinse them off or wash them and then give them to her, she needs them for a project. So thank you ahead of time. Okay. I know I forgot something, but I'll tell you guys later. All right, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining and watching. Adios.